Winston-Salem, North Carolina, site of Championship Sunday in the Old North State. We welcome you back to Lawrence Joel Veterans Memorial Coliseum, where Fike and Hunter Huss set to do battle. You see two 20-plus win clubs ready for a shot at a state championship. With that, we welcome you in alongside my broadcast partner, Eric Gash, Jason Patterson. A pleasure to be with you. Thank you for joining us on Championship Saturday for North Carolina high schools and beyond in many ways. Championships last a lifetime. We just saw how classic these games can be, and now we got two teams already showing some energy in the building a moment ago.
No place I'd rather be. Championship Saturday right now with Huss and Fike. We are set for an epic battle here in this 5A men's championship game.
Yeah, right around the corner is the basketball. First, let's look at some of the individuals we're keeping an eye on, and then the keys to the game. Who do you highlight initially here as our players to rely on, brought to you by Riddle and Riddle?
Well, you look at DeQuavis Green. This young man averages a double-double per game, 16 points, 12 rebounds. He had 20 points in the championship game, so we look for big things out of this man. 6'10" he stands.
Say it again.
He stands at 6 feet, 10 inches.
You're going to know it when you see him on the floor. His counterpart, the guy we're highlighting on the other side for the Huskies, is Jaleel Smith.
Yeah, Jaleel Smith, 30 points a game, 7 rebounds. He hits the boards as well. This young man is just a sophomore, so we expect some big things out of him, not only today, but in the next couple of years to come.
Again, those are our Riddle and Riddle players to rely upon. Now let's turn our attention to the Ingles food for thought. These stand as your keys to the contest.
Fike, you're going to have to control the paint and limit the second chance points. That means you're going to hit the glass hard, control the basketball. And for Huss, you got to push the pace and ramp up that defensive pressure.
Only room for one atop the 5A classification on the men's side in the state of North Carolina. You'll find out which one, as we got Fike and Huss coming up next for a state championship.
The broadcast stream of these championship games is brought to you by Tip Top Roofing, Faith Family Roofing.
Gastonia, North Carolina out of the west, colliding with Wilson, North Carolina out of the east. It is the Golden Demons and the Huskies moments away from doing battle. The teams have been announced. There are some awards being handed out for sportsmanship across the course of the season. You like to see what these young men are involved in off the floor, and we turn our attention to the court now, and the starting lineups brought to you by Tatum and Atkinson. Going to be Lofton, Green, Blanchard, Finch, Taylor, for the Golden Demons.
Yeah, I'm expecting some big things out of Lofton, number one. He scored 40 points in the championship game, so this young man can put the ball through the basket. So we're looking to get some big production out of him today.
Yeah, the combo of he and Green, who you talked about a little bit ago, something special, that's for sure. And if the name sounds familiar, it should. There is Roland Lofton, the head coach of this Fike squad, getting ready to lead his team to the charge.
Yeah, here we are in the biggest game of his career right now, playing in the state championship. You know that they're dialed in and ready to roll.
Now Huss gathering up just in front of their bench, going to be led to the charge by Lockhart, Anderson, Smith, McCoy, and Phillips. That's the starting five, brought to you by Tatum and Atkinson when you look at the Huskies.
Yeah, this is a supporting cast. You look at number 55, Z. Phillips. He averages 16 points a game. And in games like this, the supporting cast really has to step up because a lot of the pressure is on the leaders and the players that we highlighted there. These young men are going to have to step up and make their presence felt here today.
Of course, Hunter Huss under the direction of Coach Phillips. Coach Phillips gathering everybody up for one more piece of conversation before it becomes time to tip it off in the 5A men's title game. So that's an introduction to the Fike Golden Demons, 23-5 coming in. The Hunter Huss Huskies, 25-2 coming in. We want you to know how much we appreciate you joining us on Championship Saturday from the home of the Wake Forest Demon Deacons, Lawrence Joel Veterans Memorial Coliseum, the site of all 16 games of the 2026. And you're talking about 2025, 2026 athletic years. We've said a few times, 2026 Madness of March championship games in the state of North Carolina. Well, there's the whistle. They're calling for him to take the floor, and we have that long-awaited moment in which the final game of 5A season is before us.
Yeah, it's about to get rolling, JP. We had some little bit of fireworks before. I think it's just the intensity of the game. These young men are looking to get after it and ready to do so, and so here we go.
Their fans have filled the building, and now the ball is in the air. We are underway in the 5A title game, and the first possession going to belong to the Golden Demons of Fike. Again, out of Wilson, North Carolina. They made the journey of right at 150 miles. Takes about 2.5 hours, and guess what? It's been a journey much longer than that. And here's the big man going to the deck right away. You see Green, and the whistle is going to work him to the charity stripe. Here's another look at it.
Well, you can expect a lot of that. I suspect that the game plan for Fike is going to be to get it into the big fella in the middle, Mr. Green.
It's worked to this point. He fills up your screen, that much is sure. And he has the first of the Tatum and Atkinson free throws in this contest. And a little bit of extra willing that one down, right? He walked on forward and kept the arm in the air, and it all worked out. He lays this home for the first point of the basketball game, trying to make it 2 for 2 on the early free throws.
Go.
Good for both. Had a quick whistle right away. Gives us a chance to tell you Carter Pounders, Anthony Freeman, Sam Galloway, our officials in this one. We have a standby official, Samuel Smith, if needed. Well, what's not needed is time to warm up in this one. Both teams with a bucket on one end, 2 points on the other from the free throw line. Everybody fine as we have points right out of the gate.
Up-tempo basketball. Huss wants to run as fast as they can up and down the court.
Another foul. This time it's going to be Taylor shooting three. Tyleek Taylor set to go to the line, where two have already been dropped home of the Tatum and Atkinson free throw variety for the Golden Demons. Taylor, one of the freshmen on this roster. The freshman guard. Back of the iron, and it bounces out on him.
Yeah, he averages 10 points a game, JP, and we want to see how, what impact he's going to have on the game. You know, freshmen, sometimes this can be a big moment for them, but I'm sure that this young man has played in some big moments before, and he's stepping up to the challenge.
Rattles the second of three down. Remember, he was shooting from beyond the arc, so he'll get one more. Tatum and Atkinson free throw. 4 free throws made on this end. The Zy Phillips jumper on the other end. And it's a 4-2 start. Here come the Huskies in the direction of Jaleel Smith. Smith puts it on the floor, and he'll be fouled going to the hoop. Our officials out of the Western North Carolina Officials Association. And Eric, before we see a chance at the line for Smith, a little personal connection on the officials front today.
Yeah, when I first started coaching many, many years ago, these were some of the officials there. Anthony, y'all know him well, Sam. You know, they do a good job, and that's why they're here, right? They're at the top of their craft, and kudos and congrats to them.
Yeah, it is an honor when you are selected to work one of these state championship games. We always like to make sure we take a moment, tip our cap to a great season. These games can't happen without the officials,
exactly.
And those who are willing to do that difficult work, we have much appreciation for. All right, 4 apiece, just inside 7 minutes to play, just wading into this one. Here's a little floater, and he gets the roll. Nicely done by bringing that one home.
I love seeing the battle in the middle, JP, with the big men. They're going to go at it all night.
Quick the other way, and here's a foul. And we're going to watch how many are accumulated by Green along the way. We'll see who this goes against as there's a whistle underneath. Take another look at the contact.
Yeah, they're going in, and there's oh, it looks like that's going to be on, oh, couldn't see right there. It might be on Green, I'm not sure, but you can be rest assured they're going to go at him all night. Try and get him into foul trouble, because we saw in the previous game, in the girls' game, when you get in foul trouble, you have to be on the bench, and that's where you want the big fella.
Well, I'm with you. I was blocked off as well. And if Green's got his back turned to you this direction, you're going to have that from time to time,
that's right?
So we'll see, waiting for it to go into the scorebook officially, is exactly who that foul was on. But the first of the free throws knocked down. The Tatum and Atkinson free throw is good. And McCoy looking for another. He won't have it, and it is off into the hands of Taylor. Taken right back away. Following his own shot, Jaleel Smith looking really sharp.
I love it. Young man's a sophomore, and it's interesting at the beginning of these games, within the first couple of minutes, you got to be able to control your breathing, just that adrenaline that's pumping through your veins right now, and he's doing a great job of doing that.
Going to be hard to control much of anything with this pace. There's Lofton with a bucket on the other end. He comes away with the rebound here, and a foul on the floor before Demetrius McCoy can put it back up for Hunter Huss. Bucket for Lofton, bucket for Taylor, bucket for Green on one side. Here's the good work on this end for Hunter Huss just a moment ago.
Yeah, I love the pace. Huss is trying to up the pace. They average 77 points per game, JP, and so they want to push the pace on this Fike defense.
Smith, Phillips already involved. Anderson tried one, won't work. Stop at the top of the key, and that's just short off the front of the iron. Weaving through off the baseline. Right back his direction, but won't go in the paint for Bowser.
Fike is getting a lot of looks at the second chance points.
Phillips looked ahead. He found Jaleel Smith. He found a Paramount Auto 3.
Letting everybody know in the house I'm here to stay. Mr. Jaleel Smith, I love it. 30 points a game, and there's 3 of them.
Just gave his team the lead with that shot, the sharpshooter. Got Green working through. And a blocking foul is called, so that's going to go against Hunter Huss, and it looked like it was on Anderson.
You talk about being brave, JP stepping in to take a charge from a 6'10 fella. He did it. Stood in there and got his feet. Almost got his feet set, but it's going to be a block. Block on Anderson.
Yeah, it was on Anderson, as we mentioned. By the way, cleaning that up on the other end from a bit ago, Finch was whistled for the foul on the other end of the floor when we were blocked off a bit. That now updating in the stat program. So if you're keeping track, just the first on Anderson there on the Huss side of things, but a couple picked up by Finch already, so keep that in mind for the Golden Demons. And there's the initial of the Tatum and Atkinson free throws. Falling through for Green. He's making a habit of this already, and if he can get to the line regular today, early and often, would be a big factor for the Golden Demons. Here's a 3, won't go. Guess who's there? Green jams it back home.
Hey, a big fella. I was waiting on that. The 6'10 fella rattling the rim, JP. I love it.
Whole building was waiting on it.
as he stands on the other end, said, yeah, I'm here. We look at the big fella catching it off the rim. He makes some space, and he goes up not to be denied. I love it.
Talk about bringing Lawrence Joel Veterans Memorial Coliseum to life. Sound like a college basketball Saturday with that slam.
I love it. Here we go, JP. Here we go.
11-9 the advantage that the Golden Demons hold with force. It's going to be Hunter Huss basketball. Blanchard to inbound, or excuse me, check that. Going to be Jalil Smith to inbound. Hunter Huss does have the basketball. Now, the first real introduction to the rest of the building by DeQuavius Green a moment ago. Nice pick set up top by McCoy. Creates some space.
Yeah. JP, you can feel the intensity in the room. You see a battle going on down on the block with the big men, and they are letting them play.
After Phillips' three on one end, a whistle as Lofton was moving toward the bucket on the other. You know, we call the name Lofton over and over again. The Lofton brothers prominent in this group. And he will go to the line. Here's another look at Phillips.
You love the intensity, JP. He steps up. Everybody's talking. The fans are talking. The players are talking to the fans. They're talking to each other. We're in for a great game today.
That was a good-looking Paramount Auto three-pointer. And now back to the Tatum and Atkinson free throw line, where Lofton is good for it. The junior, as Roland Lofton looks on. Second Tatum and Atkinson free throw coming your way. Tie game. A lot of action both directions. As we often say, from without and from within.
That's right.
In this one thus far. Under 5 to go in the opening stanza. Smith calling for a little help. He'll stop and fire away. Green with the rebound. Boy, in one motion he gets it to his teammate. Lofton for three. Green looked to have the rebound, but it's away to Smith.
Oh, wow, that's a deep three.
Tried it from this side. He had just connected from the other side. That one not so kind. Look who's out front. And one coming. And Phillips just kept running right on up the tunnel.
That's right.
Might not be a bad idea with the way Green performs on this one.
It's hard to stop the big man when he's got a head of steam going, but playing through the contact, still able to put it up in the bucket. Big fella rumble.
He's living at the charity stripe right now. This is a third opportunity to go to the free throw line in the game already for DeQuavius Green. Big East Conference Player of the Year. I think you know why. Guy, as you said, who averages a double-double each time out.
Working on that same thing again today, JP.
Went for the putback in the lane, but it wouldn't go for Taylor. The lead three. Threw out of Gastonia, slowing things up just a little bit. Smith weaves through. And a nice toss underneath. The finish just as true.
That was a nice drive by Smith there, and he's a facilitator as well. Nice assist.
Gets it to McCoy, who had the finish. In the lane, just a little short for Taylor. The big man's there to lay it home.
Yeah. 6'10", he's making his presence felt. I mean, and he's taking up all the space in the paint. He's battling hard, JP.
Well, and you can make some comparisons to some of the paint dwellers over the years who've done tremendous work in this sport, because the thickness he provides, a factor. Out front, and Bowser with a bucket to push it to 19-14, the first real surge we've had here on either side. And it belongs to Fike. Timeout is on the floor. We will take it as well. 3 and change to go in the opening period. And if the opening stanza is any indication, going to be quite an afternoon at Lawrence Joel. Our broadcast presented by Riddle & Riddle continues in a moment. Original Grill's fan cam giving you a sense of those who have made the trip for the 5A state championship game. Elevate your grill game. You can do so with Original Grills. And some of the youngest fans enjoying today's environment, whether they made the trip from Gastonia or over in Wilson. Just what they bargained for. Welcome back to the track meet. I mean, it is the 5A basketball championship game. Up and down the floor in this one thus far, just as you would expect. Tie up, possession arrow of the alternating variety. We'll keep it on this end of the floor.
Oh, I love the intensity, man. Every possession is a fight. Every single possession is intense as it can be. These young man boys, they really, really feel it. Really want this championship.
Somebody's got to tell them it's the first quarter.
Right.
That's where it starts, though. And another bucket as they trade them. That cuts it to 3. As Hunter Huss goes into a defensive posture. And he tried to pull that out of the sky. That's going to be a jump ball. Keeps it right where it is as the possession arrow had alternated over to Fike. Coming from the baseline. They posted 16th point there. And we get an offensive call underneath, away from the basketball, and that'll flip it the other direction.
Oh boy, every single possession, JP. I mean, look, wow, the battle in the big man, they're trying to get him in foul trouble. They're pesking him every single play and, trying to frustrate him a little bit. I'm sure he's had that a time or two, but it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out coming down to the end game with the foul.
Isn't that part of the strategy?
Yeah.
When it comes right down to it. Picks up his first right there. We'll keep track of them. Here's a 3 that won't go. Smith the rebound. Creates some separation. Drops one home. Jalil Smith for Huss.
And sitting right behind us is the fan section for Huss, and he acknowledges every single time he hits a basket.
Well, think about Smith already with 9 points in the basketball game. Well, he's a third of the way there with that bucket. Is Blanchard involved with a three-pointer? And they're trading Paramount Auto three-pointers now. One on the other end for Anderson.
My goodness. Oh, trying to throw oop to the big man.
Did we say welcome back to the track meet?
They're letting them play up and down we go.
Off and running. Anderson a no-look pass. And pullback won't happen. Here's a 3 from the corner. That's off the mark as well. In front to Bowser. There's another corner 3. That one true for Tyleek Taylor, the freshman. Yet another Paramount Auto 3.
My, JP. I love the pace. I love the intensity. They're pushing.
25-21 with just under a minute to play in the first. How about the control of the body to keep that alive? Back to Smith. Moments like that, you see the length of green, and they battle for it.
Wow.
As a whistle puts a halt to this scramble.
You talk about up-tempo, man. These kids want it. Each one of them want it, and they're going at it.
That was a foul on Obi Lockhart. Now, that's going to be a second personal picked up by Lockhart already. So the foul's starting to mount a little bit on given sides, particularly when you've picked up a couple in the first quarter individually.
Yeah, and everybody's lobbying the refs, from both sides. The coaches, the benches, the players on the floor, everybody's talking to the refs and trying to plead their case. But they're going to have to play through, the physical nature of the game and the pace of the game as well.
Tyleek Taylor for the Tatum and Atkinson free throws. His first is off the front of the rim. Tatum and Atkinson Injured, call the heavy hitters at Tatum and Atkinson. Substitutions coming. 25 Pless into the contest, 22 Griggs Jr. into the contest for Huss, respectively. Also, some time on the floor for number 11, Falls.
Every possession is a battle. Every possession is a struggle. I love it.
Wholesale changes for Huss. A lot of fresh faces and fresh legs toward the end of the quarter. Stopped by Lofton. Doesn't have numbers, but he's got skills. And Jameer Lofton lays it home. Just ahead of the horn. The three won't go, so it holds at 28-21. The Golden Demons surge down the stretch in the first.
Yeah, they are going at it, JB. And let me tell you something. We are in for a showdown this day.
Separation 7 after 1. Our broadcast brought to you by Riddle & Riddle continues with the second quarter after the break. Take a moment to take in the numbers in what has been a fast-paced first quarter. The arthritis and knee pain center stats look like this. Relief without surgery or opioids. That's arthritis knee pain center. What jumps out to you?
Yeah, I'm looking at the free throws right now, JP. You know, Fike has shot 12 free throws, or 8 of 12, and it's almost like it's the hack-a-shack philosophy, it seems. You know, go at Green and just be as physical as you can with them and throw as many bodies as you can and make them beat you from the free throw line.
You also saw the ready-to-roll garage doors points in the paint there. Raleigh's garage door experts. Call them today, ready to roll, tracking our points in the paint in this one. Yeah, Green has shot nearly half those free throws you're talking about. That's the work he's done today. He tried to swat at this, won't happen, and Huss has it. With 7:44 to go, freshly underway in the second, and high off the glass it goes for Jaleel Smith. He's been an impressive player already.
He certainly has, and as a sophomore, this young man is fearless. He went right at the 6'10" Green. He went right into his chest.
He's the first to double figures in the game. He has 11. Boards clean this time by Pless.
Yeah, Fike is looks like they're in a zone to help protect the big man in the middle.
Smith doesn't mind, although his shot this time is just a little short. Laid home. That was Tyleek Neal, the senior, who received the pass and appeared to secure the bucket. And a substitution coming for Fike as well. Lofton's going to come off. And into the personnel grouping, Cordell Bowser. Bowser eating up some minutes here, the junior, in this first half for the Golden Demons. The lead 7 for the Golden Demons. Smith zips a pass inside. How about this feed? Boy, everything except the finish on that
Everything
possession.
except the finish, JP. And you know, Fike is settled to say, hey, man, we're going to send in the zone. You're going to have to beat us from the outside because we believe we can get you on the inside.
Blanchard tried a 3. It rimmed off. With 6:28 to play in the half.
Yeah, and Fike, I believe, sorry, JP, I think Fike will be content to slow the game down a little bit. You know, let's pound it in the middle, get the boards, get those second chance possessions, and limit Huss possession.
Well, you read my mind. I was just about to ask you what the mindset is on each side based upon what you've seen in this first half. It's a good assessment of where things sit. Green, one hand palm of the rebound, and then he goes up with it and will earn another trip to the charity stripe. You know, he just reached that one paw up there and snatched that out of the sky.
Big old paws, big old feet. Look at him. Yep, just grabbed it, turned, and was going to it and tried to play through that contact. And it's funny, when he was on the ground and his foot was sticking up in the air, he was almost as tall as what is one of the refs, JP. He was a big old foot. And I got a big foot, but this young man here has a big one.
Well, the all-conference performance. That's high praise coming from my broadcast partner here, who ate up some space as a linebacker for the North Carolina Tar Heels. I mean, he's got that kind of size and then some, right?
Indeed he does. Put that big man in the middle and let him run.
6:14 on the game clock as it is stopped for another see-through construction free throw. Lofts that one up a little too deep. Rebound away to Anderson. Long pass across the court. Boy, nice feed. And right in the heart of that defense, Griggs Jr. drops a bucket home.
Yeah, if they can hit that mid-range, you know, it looked like Green was a little too far under the rim right there, but if they could continue to hit that mid-range and attack that zone, they'll be doing just fine.
Well, and that feed, that assist on that last bucket, something of beauty. Looking ahead to Smith. Draws contact. That's going to be a 2-shot foul as the see-through construction free throw line is about to be in effect. Take a look at this. Some of the fans didn't see it just that way.
Yeah, didn't see it. It looked like he leaned into him. But hey, half the crowd is going to love it. Half the crowd is going to hate it, no matter what the call is, JP.
Well, and you're going to hear their reaction because they're showing the replays on the video board here at Lawrence Joel. Fans get a chance to take another glance at it, let their thoughts be communicated. First one falls for Smith. The reminder, we'll have the Air Experts Heating and Cooling halftime report coming your way at the intermission. You'll hear from Q Tucker, Commissioner of the North Carolina High School Athletic Association. We'll have highlights, stats, a whole lot more coming your way. That is the Air Experts Heating and Cooling halftime report. You're just laughing.
I'm laughing because, you know, we get to see things and hear things from our vantage point. As Green ran by Smith, he whispered something to him, and it got a little smile from Smith. Would love to know what he said.
Whatever he said worked out on this possession. There's Blanchard again, this time Kia of Asheville 3. Put back beautifully by Anderson.
Yeah, good block by the big fella, but you know, Anderson got it back and made him pay for it.
Anderson with 5. Number 5, Smith with 12. The only other player on the floor with a bucket right now is Griggs Jr. for Huss. And fans wanting a traveling call here. Instead, see the call go the other way. But, you know, that's both ends of the floor that the fans are letting their thoughts be known, and that's how hotly contested this is. The legs get tangled up pretty good here.
They certainly do. And, yeah, they let it play.
Going to be an inbound underneath. And that's lost out of bounds. Going to belong to Hunter Huss. Inside 5 minutes in the opening half of action. Smith directing a little traffic. His team now down his jersey number, down just 5.
Yeah, and Fike is going to make them beat them from the three-point line, JP.
You're saying those outside shots have got to fall.
They're going to have to start falling because, you know, Fike is just packing it in, you know, keeping Green in the middle at 6'10", hands up and just grabbing everything coming off of the rim and protecting it as they come in. And they're okay with playing at this pace.
Both teams with 3 trays apiece to this point, as we've had 6 total Paramount Kia of Asheville threes. Official staying alert there.
Yeah.
Just able to play a little dodgeball. They're scrambling for it. They're going to call a tie-up, and it'll go the other way. Alternating possession arrow is with Fike.
Oh, wow. Boy, it was a scrum. I mean, they're going at it, you know, and they're letting him play. He keeps the dribble, and, you know, the ball is it's like a greased pig trying to grab it down there, JP.
All this, and there's still 4:05 left to go in the half. What an entertaining Saturday this has already been, with championships handed down throughout the course. 4 of them, to be specific, throughout the course of this Saturday in North Carolina. Going underneath the green, that is a little too strong. It'll be Hunter Huss basketball. Timeout on the floor with 3:50 to play in the half. Catch your breath and hurry back. Much more coming your way between the Golden Demons and the Huskies. Our broadcast presented by Riddle & Riddle continues after these messages from our sponsors. You'll want to stick around at the conclusion of this afternoon's contest. We'll have the Akeem Anastapulo play of the game. Don't scream, call Akeem, 800-all-7s. We'll also select the Riddle & Riddle player of the game with Justice Counts, Riddle & Riddle, sponsors of our broadcast throughout the course of this championship week in North Carolina, as well as our player of the game selections. Well, 5-point game. Yeah. Under 4 minutes to play in the half.
Yeah, the team that's going to, you know, win this game is going to be the one that, you know, runs their game plan, maintains their composure, and executes on their game plan.
He certainly executed today. How about rising tall above? Already in double figures, Smith adds to his total, give him 14.
Yeah, if that young man gets going, Fike could be in trouble. Not if they keep doing that, though.
Answer on the other end of the floor in the form of a Paramount Kia of Asheville 3. By the way, you want to find out a little more about Paramount Kia, ParamountAuto.com. You're going to need to. The threes keep on coming. There's one for Huss from Griggs Jr.
I love the expressions. I love the emotions of the game, and these young men are just every point, every possession, they're giving it their all.
That one stripped away. The follow, absolutely true. There's a bucket for Falls, his first of the contest. Into the hands of Griggs Jr. stopping and posting up for the three. Won't happen. Try one from the corner. Just off the mark. Boy, talk about a perfect place to grab a rebound. Back-to-back buckets for Falls, and Huss surges back out front. 37-36.
Falls is feeling it, baby. Look at him. This young man is fired up. He is excited, and he's saying, look here, mama, I'm going to get mine today. Love it. And there we go, just off the rebound there. He gets that little mid-range. And once again, if they can hit these mid-ranges and stay out from under that basket, they're going to have a good chance of winning this game.
Hard for Mr. Green to contest a shot like that,
yes,
certainly
right.
when it's in your hands that quickly. And it is 37-36 in favor of the Crew out of Gastonia, North Carolina. Huss has surged out front with that last spurt.
And you can feel the intensity of the fans in this place, JP. All around, it's electric. It's rocking in this place from both of these high schools. The cheerleaders are rocking. The fans, mamas and daddies are rocking. And let me tell you something, the excitement is palpable in this place.
Don't you love it when they bring the pep band with them?
Yeah.
Just adds that extra bit of pageantry to a state championship moment. This has everything you would want. Just like our first game earlier today, and the majority of these games have been across the course of championship week, a hotly contested affair between the Golden Demons and the Huskies. 2:17 left in the first half. How do you approach these final 2:17?
Yeah, you know, Fike is playing their game. They're slowing it down. You know, I'm looking here on defense and their face guard and Green. They're playing maybe a jump defense and just they'll have somebody specifically designed to make his life miserable and keeping him out of the paint. But you keep doing that, and life will be good for you if you fight.
Yeah, nobody to keep this guy out of the paint. How about that job? Blanchard able to drive to the hoop. On the other end, who else but Jaleel Smith with the answer?
Great body control, and Fike is already down the other end. Great defense by Mr. Falls there, who hit the big elbow shot and is getting back on defense. Look at the intensity at him. I love it.
He brings plenty of energy to the floor. Take a look at Falls.
He certainly does. He hustles back, gets a block. He'll remember that for the rest of his life. Only the story may be that he put the ball in the third row.
Falls with offensive and defensive contributions, and the lead still at a single point with 1:45 to play in the half. They are on their feet behind that Huss bench after that defensive stand, and it stays with Fike. Not for long. Out front. Slowing it up and laying it home is Smith.
Making sure he gets the deuce. That was a good layup there. And this young man,
18 points for Jaleel Smith.
Already 18.
We are in the first half, right?
Yes, we are so far.
Green underneath, and he's fouled. Well, just a little for good measure. Play had already stopped. Now, I'm not sure that DeQuavis Green understood that play wasn't going on. He never throttled back in that sequence.
That's right. He kept it going because, you know, he's used to playing through contact all the time, JP. Maybe he didn't hear the whistle, you know, with all the fanfare going on.
Well, you saw his reaction as if to say, wasn't there a foul there? He kept playing, he jammed it home, and somebody had to tell him, big fella, you're going to the line, where he is effective on the first of these see-through construction free throws. See-through construction, your construction contractor of choice on the OBX.
I love it.
They'll make the first, and the takeaway for Huss. A reminder, Air Experts Heating and Cooling halftime report coming your way soon. Gonna have stats, highlights, message from Q Tucker, the commissioner of the North Carolina High School Athletic Association, and a whole lot more. That's the Air Experts halftime report. Foul whistled on Blanchard. That's his second. You know, Blanchard has 8 points in the game already. Wearing jersey number 34 for Fike, and picks up his second foul here. He's been quite a contributor for this squad already.
He certainly has, JP. I'm smiling and giggling to myself because, you know, Green and 34, they've got a little conversation going on. And Green's like, yeah, he can't guard me. And he's talking to the stands. He's talking to the players. And apparently he can guard him, but I love it. I love the intensity I love the subplots that's going on during the game.
Inside the final minute, out front, here he is again. Just mentioned what a contributor he's been. Couldn't finish the bucket here, but it was there for Blanchard one more time. Boy, these fans are hanging on every movement across the course of this first half, and there are 38 ticks remaining in a 41-39 game. Huss leading it with the basketball.
Every point is important, and you know, you see Smith at the top there. He's orchestrating that offense. He's saying, hey, y'all, clear out. I got this guy.
Hunter Huss, timeout. Huskies want to talk it over. They have the ball, 28.7, so you would think they're going to do something, knowing they're going to carry the lead into the locker room either way to try to extend it here.
Yeah, you may look for one shot, you know, and go in with the momentum, go in with the lead. And it's been ebbs and flows in this game. It's been bobs and weaves, man. It's been peaks and valleys. And if you can go in with the 1, 2, 3, 4-point lead, I think that's a victory, especially from this first half with the intensity that's in this place.
One thing we can say about this game, it requires a halftime. Everybody's going to need a pause and a reset before you come back for the balance of what is going to be a 5A championship game, hotly contested. 28.7 on the clock. Walk us through the Huss possession from your mind.
Yeah, I'm going to slow it down. I'm going to get a good shot. I'm going to eat up as much of that clock as I can. If Fike sits back in the zone, it looks like they're coming out and they're going to face guard at least, they're going to face guard Jaleel Smith here and try and frustrate him as much as they can, but try and settle down and get a good look at the basket and don't give Fike that other possession.
Huskies to inbound.
Yeah, take your time.
Love that awareness from Smith. He made sure where he was on the floor mattered. Remember, this is a little different length of the court than you usually have in a high school basketball regular season. There's a window to shoot.
There you go. Oh, you can do that.
He will. Driven home by Phillips again. With the latest to the Paramount Kia of Asheville threes. 3, 2 seconds. Ball on the floor. Time's going to expire in the first half. 44-39 will be the score. Hunter Huss will carry the advantage into the locker room.
Wow, you think this game doesn't mean a lot to these young men? They're diving on the floor. They're excited. They're getting after it. Man, I love the intensity. I love the focus of this game right here so far.
9 combined threes between them. A little bit of everything in the first half of basketball, and nothing yet settled in the 5A title bout. They are separated by just that at the break.
You're watching the Air Experts Heating and Cooling Halftime Report. Air Experts. Schedule your tune-up today at yourairexperts.com.
Well, hey there, everybody. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to the state championship high school basketball games. Joining us is our long-standing partner all the way from Ingalls Markets, Miss Melissa Level. Melissa, are you loving these excellent basketball games?
I love it. What a great season it's been, and the best of the best is right here now on television.
Best of the best is right. Now let's talk about that long-standing and robust partnership between Ingalls and high school championship athletics. What all does that entail?
It's just absolutely wonderful to be able to connect with all the schools within our region. You know, we're in 6 states, and so we have Friday night lights with football, we do basketball, we have softball, even some Olympic style sports, and we go all the way up through college, and then of course some minor leagues. But we just love that high school spirit and the fun with that. A lot of those players work with us. A lot of their parents have a, shop at our Ingalls. So it's kind of like a big family coming to watch all of them play, right? So we love that.
We'll love it as well. Melissa, as always, thank you for taking the time to speak with us here today.
Thank you.
All righty. Let's get back to the game, folks.
Experts Heating and Cooling Halftime Report. Air Experts. Schedule your tune-up today at yourairexperts.com.
Championship week is always a special time for high school athletics in North Carolina. Joining us now is NCHSAA Commissioner Q Tucker to talk about what this event means for student athletes across the state. Commissioner Tucker, Championship week is finally here. What does this event mean for the student athletes who have worked all season to get to this stage?
All of the teams that are playing this week are regional champions. And so they entered this week as already a champion. And now they're trying to, put that cherry on the top, so to speak, and go home with a state championship.
This year's championships feature 16 games across 8 classifications for both boys and girls. What went into the decision to structure the championships this way?
A couple of years ago, the membership voted to amend our bylaws so that you could have no more than 64 schools in a classification. Now, it would have been very easy to stop at perhaps 6 classes, but at the rate we've been adding new schools, we would very quickly needed the membership to amend the bylaw again so that we could have more than 64 teams in a class, or we'd have to go ahead and have more classes. So the recommendation to our board of directors was that we go ahead and go to 8 classes, and that would give some flexibility in terms of adding new schools.
How does that expanded format create more opportunities for schools and student athletes across the state?
Because we have more schools that are getting into the playoffs. than would have ever been in the playoffs, and they're able to make a deeper run. And that's exciting for those schools as well as for those communities.
For many of these athletes, this is the biggest stage they've ever played on. How does the association work with schools to prepare them for moments like this?
They needed to know, where your team will unload and how you get into the arena, what your dressing room situation will be like. Lawrence Joel Coliseum will be the largest arena they have been in for some of them. And so we just try to make sure that all the nuts and bolts are in place for the coaches to be able to share with the athletes.
When the final buzzer sounds on championship weekend, what do you hope every student athlete walks away remembering about this experience?
We want you to play hard. We want you to play to win, but we want you to do that and have fun so that you walk away and you think, we won, it was great. Or we were runner-up, but it was great. And I had a great time with my teammates. For some of them, it would be the last time that they put on that high school jersey because they're seniors. So we want them to go away with those memories that will last a lifetime.
Commissioner Tucker, thanks for joining us, and congratulations to all the teams competing this week.
Thank you very much.
You're watching the Air Experts Heating and Cooling Halftime Report. Air Experts. Schedule your tune-up today at yourairexperts.com.
Halftime of the 5A title game, 5 separating them on the scoreboard as we close in on the third quarter. And Eric, first let's take a look back at some of the wild moments we saw in this first half of action. It was a highly entertaining first half of basketball.
Yeah, it's like we went to a track meet and a basketball game broke out, JP. But yeah, here we have it. Huss really, hitting the outside shots, dialing it in early on. And we see there number 5, Jaleel Smith making his presence known. I think he may be the leading scorer in the game. He's just taking his time and laying it up.
You think he may be the leading scorer? 18 will do that for you in the first half. Most people will take that for a game in its entirety. Here's some of the responses, though, as the crew from Fike made their presence known.
Yeah, Fike has stayed in there. They've hit the boards hard with the big fella Green in the middle and, playing through the contact there. And he actually rattled the rim one time, the big fella right there hanging on the rim, getting the crowd into it. I love seeing the big fellas get up like that.
Crowd didn't need much help, but moments like that certainly provided it for them. Here is the Arthritis Knee Pain Center's statistical look at the first half. What jumps out at you?
Yeah, you look at the field goal percentage, 18 of 39 for Huss, only 13 of 28 for Fike. But the big thing that sticks out to me here for Fike is they've shot 16 free throws. They're 9 of 16. And if they level this out, then this game is a different story. And so it comes down to layups and free throws at every level of the game, but especially here at high school.
Relief without surgery or opioids. Stats Arthritis Knee Pain Center. They're providing those overall stats. And now we turn our attention to the ready-to-roll garage doors points in the paint. Pretty even. Well, dead even in that category.
Yeah, and once again, you know, Fike has the big fella with Green in the middle. And Huss has done a good job of kind of isolating him. You see sometimes the junk defense where they're just going to face guard him and not let the ball get anywhere in there.
You hold your own in the paint for Huss, you got to be pretty happy with what you're dealing with there. Halftime is wrapping up, and you know what that means. The final half of basketball in the 5A ranks for 2025-2026 is right around the corner. Our broadcast brought to you by Riddle & Riddle continues right after this break. A highly anticipated second half, just moments away. This has been a fast-paced, back and forth 5A battle with a little bit of everything involved. And the fans just waiting for something to bring them to their feet on each possession of the basketball. They're entertaining us.
That's right. You think this game doesn't mean something to this community? Boy. You better believe it does.
Gastonia colliding with Wilson, two of the premier locations in the state of North Carolina, as Fike and Huss go back at it here. Huss leading it 44-39 as we begin the third. Mr. Green said, I don't think so. Yeah. He's trying to snatch it out of there. Won't happen. And here's the putback by Phillips when all is said and done. So Huss comes out of the locker room with a bucket.
Yeah, there they go. And you can see that they want to get Mr. Smith rolling.
Extends the lead to 7, but he doesn't have to do much to get to the rim. DeQuavis Green lays it in with ease.
Yeah, get him going in the middle, JP. You got to get him going in the middle.
Both teams with an early basket in the third. And Phillips, that's going to be disrupted by Jayante Blanchard. That's a third personal foul picked up by Blanchard there. Here's a look at it.
Yeah, because his assignment is going to be to shut down 5, I guess. And yep, he just came down on the forearm. You know, there's no doubt there was a foul. He came down. Maybe had he gone straight up, JP, maybe it would have worked out differently for him.
Leading all scorers with 18 coming into this second half. Jaleel Smith, the guy who you focus on in many ways. Phillips, so he's been impressive. He already has 9 by dropping home that Tatum and Atkinson free throw. He's the next likely candidate to go into double figures for Huss.
Yeah, and that's your role players. Role players got to step up in times like this.
Green's got 12. He's the only guy in double figures for Fike. They're trying to work in his direction again, but this pass too deep.
Yeah, you got to get him going. I mean, he's 6'10". There's nobody on the floor that you know, that can stand next to him and be intimidating. So you want to get him going in the middle, feed him the ball so he can continue to do that.
Going to pick up a foul here. Now remember, he played that entire first half being whistled for just the one foul. So this will be his second.
So it's not time to panic, but you still want to challenge him and go at him, because if you can get him on the bench, it's going to open up that inside.
It changes the entire complexity of this basketball team. First to the Tatum and Atkinson free throws, drained by Zach Anderson. Anderson has 8. He had 7 in the first half, was 3 of 9 from the field in the first half. And he gets that one to stay inside the cylinder, which pushes the advantage to 49-41.
Yeah, they're not giving Green an opportunity. They're collapsing on him as soon as the guard looks at him. They're collapsing 2 on him. They already have 1 face guard him, and they're getting somebody on him all the time.
Lead of 8 with the basketball for the Huskies. Crew out of Gastonia looking sharp here in the third. What a move. Give him 20. He has been spectacular today. Jalil Smith is advertised. Answer on the other end, not there for Blanchard.
Yeah, no fear in that young man. He's going right at him.
Well, Smith thought about a 3 from the corner, but he resets out top. Tossing it to Phillips. Phillips will try a 3, contested, won't go.
That was a step back 3, almost like James Harden out there stepping back for that 3.
Didn't miss it by much.
That's right.
Green puts it on the floor and lays it off the glass.
Yeah, that's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to get him going. They're going to have to feed the beast and let him pound that block down there.
14 for Green. Only Jalil Smith with 20 for Huss has more points in the game. Looks like they're going to
call a double foul. It looks like.
Well, it's going to be on Jalil Smith off the ball. And it's the first time Smith has been whistled for a foul in the game.
Yeah, and you got Lofton that's trailing him every single place that he goes. He's not, he's not letting him breathe.
Well, and he's going to be whistled this time. You called it, E. Lofton is going to pick up a foul here. For Lofton, that's going to be, I believe, is that his 3rd? We'll check that.
Yeah, they got a battle going on, that's for sure.
Lofton picking up his 2nd, so 2nd personal foul on Lofton. 5:20. And 55 with a Paramount Kia of Asheville 3. That's Phillips again. He has double figures as well.
Yeah, he's saying, hey, throwing my name in the hat. That player of the game, I love it. He's meeting that intensity.
12 for Phillips. Now he's playing with 3 fouls, remember.
Oh, wow.
And a foul called here. And Loftus was in the middle of that again. Now that was his 3rd a moment ago. It just had not updated in the stat program. I had it as his 3rd. They now have placed a 4th foul up for Lofton on the scoreboard here, even though it's a little different in the stat program right now. So it appears as if that is in fact his 4th personal.
Yeah, and that could prove pivotal, because he's been playing that lockdown defense, or attempting to play that lockdown defense on Smith. And if he has to go out of the game, they're going to have to run another defender in there.
And it is in fact, now the stat program having caught up with the in-house scoring, it is in fact a 4th foul, and Lofton going to have to depart as he is saddled with 4 of them. Into the contest, Cordell Bowser, the junior, in his place. He won't be the only one entering, as they'll also call upon Demetrius Joyner, a senior who comes into the game. Yes. Remember, our Akeem Anastapoulo play of the game is coming your way at the conclusion of this contest. Akeem Anastapoulo, don't scream, call Akeem, the sponsor of our play of the game. Inside 5 to go in the third.
I was going to say, JP, for Huss, you know, Fike is saying, I got to shut Smith down, and so they're going to run a body to him all the time, and vice versa. For Fike, Green is going to get all the attention. These are the 2 leading scorers.
Blanchard with a great offensive contribution and now a solid defensive contribution. He draws the offensive call with a play like this.
Yeah, he's just a little frustration. There may have been a little bit embellishing there, I'm not sure, but hey, they call the offensive foul.
Well, and guess what? That goes against Jalil Smith.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you glance up there, Smith having picked up a couple of fouls. So give Blanchard credit in the last couple of moments. The combo of he and Lofton, even though it cost Lofton a couple of fouls in his fourth, have put a couple of fouls on Smith here.
And Jalil comes back in the game. Sorry, number 1. Jameer Lofton's back in.
Lofton back in there with those 4 fouls. And a nice move to lay it off the window.
Great body control by the He's only a sophomore, JP.
And you look up at the scoreboard, all of a sudden this thing's stretching out a little bit for the Huskies. In the last several moments, they've doubled up Fike in the quarter, and in doing so have a 58-45 advantage now. This one's starting to spread out a little bit.
It is, and Smith just picked up his 3rd foul, so
yes,
he's got to watch that.
And again, we're just talking about the good work they've done in the last several moments. He had no fouls at the intermission, and he's picked up all 3 here in the third. The other way with it for Phillips. Disrupted. Lofton's taken nothing off his game with those 4 fouls. And it's finished on the other end of the floor by Blanchard.
Yeah, there you go. It's like a street fight, JP. You never know what's coming next. You never know where it's going to come from. These young men are playing their hearts out.
That cuts it to 11 as the Demons look to make a run. Huskies slowing it up just a bit. And a foul is going to be called out top. That's on Joyner. And it'll take us to a commercial break with 3:31 to go in the third. What a ball game.
Yeah, I love it. This young man shows tremendous body control as he gets a bucket there, and there's Huss coming down, looking to solidify this win.
We welcome you back to Lawrence Joel Veterans Memorial Coliseum in Winston-Salem with our Original Grills fan cam. Look at some of the fans enjoying this 5A men's championship game. Elevate your grill game, that's a challenge from Original Grills. Certainly we have seen these 2 5A combatants elevate their game. And with 3:31 to play in the third quarter, double-digit advantage for Huss now, as their fans on the Original Grills fan cam enjoying themselves at the moment, because Jalil Smith is at the line. He leads all scorers with 24 points as he goes after this Tatum and Atkinson free throw. Worth noting, we got some foul trouble beginning to mount here. A couple of guys on both sides you really have to watch now.
You certainly do, and you know it's going to come down to free throws. It's going to come down to layups, but who is going to be in the game come the end game time? The last 3-4 minutes of the game, who can you count on? Who can you rely on? And fouls have a whole lot to do with that, because if you're looking at 3 or 4 fouls and you get into that foul trouble, you have to tailor the way you play.
And the guy who just brought it up the floor, Jameer Lofton, is playing with 4 fouls. The guy who just hit the free throws, Smith, playing with 3. And the bucket will count, and 1 coming for Green.
Big fella, he got up there. He falls gracefully, though. You know what I mean? He didn't hit as hard as I thought he would have. But watch this. Nice little alley-oop there. I thought he was going to hang on the rim for a little bit, but he's giving it his all. And I love seeing the big fella, his team rallying around, helping him up. He's going to win from the charity stripe right there, JP, and he's going to have to start hitting these free throws, because I can imagine they're still going to go at it.
I thought he was going to touch the shot clock. Really up there that time, as you said. The free throw, the Tatum and Atkinson free throw, just off the mark. It stays at 60-49. The lead has been in double figures for Huss as they have doubled up Fike in this quarter, 16-8. In overall points, that just rattles out on Phillips, but the putback is true.
And before you know it, you're down the court and they're scoring again.
On the other end, happy to trade him right now as everything halts with 2:39 to play. Timeout with just under 3 minutes remaining in this third quarter. Let's go back and take another look at that 3 ball a moment ago.
Yeah, here we go. You know, Smith is going to garner all of the attention. And then you have Z Phillips just stepping right up there. And then you have one hitting the boards. It's going to take a group effort. All those role players are going to have to step up and play their part when their name is called or when their time is needed.
So they tried the 3. O.B. Lockhart there for the cleanup duty and the putback, and it makes it 62-51. Huss has made it a habit of keeping this in double figures. They're trying right now to hold the Demons at arm's length right now.
Yeah, and you know, if you're Fike, you're going to have to pound the paint. And we see here coming back out, Fike has brought out their track team. Green is sitting on the bench right now. I guess, you know, getting some wind, getting some water, but they're going to have to keep up with the pace right here for Huss.
You're all right. You were thinking about the peak that Green climbed just a few moments ago, Pike. This has been an impressive showing on both sides. That's pulled out of the sky by Joyner. And then they'll call a foul on Hunter Huss. Let's see who this is going to be assessed. Is that going to be on McCoy? I think it's McCoy that they end up getting for the foul there, which is just going to be his first personal, it would seem.
Yeah, you talk about securing the basketball. He don't want anybody to get those hands on there, and he's swinging and making sure that that they're going to steer clear of that. You don't want to get caught by one of those elbows.
Yeah, trio of Huskies there. It was the foul, that is, on McCoy, and it is just his first. Back of the iron, rolls off the front for Demetrius Joyner. Joyner, one of the seniors. He's seen some key minutes in this one today. Into the contest comes Will Pless once more for the Huskies of Huss. Coach Phillips turning to his bench again. Tatum and Atkinson free throw. Rattles out. And they're going to call another tie-up. That'll keep it on this end of the floor. Blanchard met all kind of resistance as he tried to take that back up.
And you know, I'm looking at the free throw count here, 9 of 19 for Fike. And you know, that's the difference in the game right now. Is being able to hit those, you know, the free throws from the charity stripe.
Held strong. Did Lofton in there. Coming away with the bucket. Lofton with 12 points now. He's in double figures, and again, he's doing all this with those 4 fouls. Trying to stay out of the way here, as you would expect. Going to be clean.
Yeah, Fike is going to have to continue to make those stops and then attack the boards on the other end.
Inside 2 minutes in the third. Got it inside single digits now. But Huss with the basketball.
Oh, good look.
Boy, how about Phillips? Hard to the hoop.
I love it. And you Jaleel Smith running down with the binoculars like, yeah, I see him. I got him.
Look at this shot. That was a circus move.
That was a great ball control, man. These young men are going at it. I love it's like a street fight, like I said earlier, JP. Nobody's going to flinch.
Memorable possession after memorable possession in this one. Here's Phillips with the left hand. Pressed the rebound. He tried to take that one away from Green, but it was not to be. Blanchard with a minute to go in the third, and Blanchard again with a nice move in the paint.
He's making it a habit making these circus shots. These Michael Jordan-esque shots.
He's got 16 in the contest. He just pulled even with Mr. Green atop the team slate. That's the kind of day that Deontay Blanchard has put together. Major contact underneath at 36 seconds in the third.
Boy, when you're young, you don't care where you fall, how you fall, but I love it. You got Smith attacking the rim there with his own rendition of a circus shot. Tried to get it up there, but he's going to the line for two.
Smith with 26 to lead all scorers in this one. And he is going to connect on the first Tatum and Atkinson free throw. You want to stick around, we'll have the Riddle and Riddle player of the game. He may be standing at the charity stripe right now. His 27 are now credited to his account. That's the Riddle and Riddle player of the game at the conclusion of this contest. 28 points for Jaleel Smith, and you said it, not just the 28 points, Eric, but all the other things he's done in addition to that. You saw the big assist a moment ago, 1 of 5 today. He has a steal. He has pulled down 5 boards in this one. A little bit of everything for Jaleel Smith.
Yeah. And he looks good in that Carolina blue and white there.
Oh, here we go.
I'm just saying, hey, I'm just saying.
I saw you with your suit on, but you still got those blue shoes underneath it all.
That's exactly right. He is just a sophomore. He will look good playing down in the Beanbag.
And I think everybody of every flavor, all across the state, of every flavor of fan and variety says, nope, we like him in our colors. He's one you would take anywhere. Number of these individuals here, the great thing about it, it's going to be fun to see what their futures hold because the talent to play next level basketball is there.
It certainly is, and you see him giving it all right here.
As proven by Mr. Phillips in the corner, just ahead of the horn. And Huss surges into the fourth quarter.
Was that a fadeaway three, JP? This young man was in the corner, almost looking like Steph Curry in that corner with the fadeaway. And we see here he gets it as time's running out and playing through the contact, a little fadeaway. Awesome shot by that young fella.
Huss, double-digit advantage as we head to the fourth. just ahead of the final 8 minutes of the 5A Men's Championship season. Let's take a look at the Arthritis Knee Pain Center. Stats through 3/4 of action, relief without surgery or opioids. That's Arthritis Knee Pain Center. The numbers tell the story.
Yeah, JP, I'm looking at the free throws, you know, and Fike has left 10 points out there, and that makes a difference in this game. If they're hitting that, it's only a 2-point difference. But instead, you're looking at a 12-point difference.
Also keeping track of the ready-to-roll garage doors points in the paint. Call Raleigh's garage door experts today. Ready-to-roll garage doors, 36-28. Fike pulling away a little bit there, but we've seen Huss pull away a little bit on the scoreboard. They carry a 12-point advantage into the fourth.
Yeah, they're getting those 3-pointers to fall for them.
Heads up play to save possession right there by Antonio Griggs Jr. And that will send Jaleel Smith. He's been the leader, 28 points through 3 periods to pace the crew out of Gastonia.
Yep, really high IQ play there.
Will stay on this end of the floor. Us looking to build on the advantage to open the fourth. Now, the Cuevas Green thought it was going to be Fike basketball. He was already trotting down to the other end.
He was ready to roll.
Instead, he's got to defend this. He will. Gets back in time to block the first shot, but the relentless follow is true. Will Press with a bucket.
Yeah, that was a good follow for Press. He got it blocked the first time, but it didn't stop him. Yes, sir.
That's what he was wanting to get to the other end of the floor for.
I'm sure the Fike fans love to see a lot more of that.
Green with 18 in the contest. Here's a 3 ball from the corner, rims off. Put back true. Guess who was there? He's going to talk to him on the way back up the floor. Jaleel Smith has 30 in the contest.
Letting him know he's just a little too small. And he picked his pocket.
Jaleel Smith. There it is. That's the 30-point moment. He works together with Zach Anderson the last trip down. You can officially post him up as Huss is pulling away in the fourth.
Yeah, he's starting to feel it a little bit there, JP. Picked his pocket right there. Didn't hesitate going to the other end. I thought he was going to flush it, but instead he just takes an easy old school finger roll too.
Just an impressive afternoon for Jaleel Smith and the Huskies of Hunter Huss. Starting to pull away a little bit here. They have created some separation on that scoreboard.
Yeah, letting everybody know whose house it is, and he's making this case for player of the game as a sophomore point guard. He's doing an outstanding job for Huss.
Securing 30 points in the contest. In addition to those 30 points, a couple of steals, 5 assists. He's pulled down a handful of boards. It has been an impressive run, and the fans making a trip over from Gastonia, enjoying every minute of it.
I love it when the fan cam hits them. It's like an electric shock goes through their spine, and they start to dance, and it really means a lot to these communities here.
Hunter Huss won a championship in 1977. They followed it up with another in 1985. They were last here in 2011. Won it then as well. This is a team that's a perfect 3-0 in the state championship environment, and it's trending toward 4-0 right now.
Yeah, they're looking forward to it. And I tell you something, JP, if it keeps going at this pace, they're going to hang that banner again.
77, 85, 11. Can you add 26 to it? 650 away from doing so. And if it stays like this, the time's going to be of little consequence. A behind-the-back pass from Smith, and he follows with the shot, give him 32. And but for the finish, that was a highlight moment.
Yeah, you gotta love it. Behind the back Magic Johnson pass. This young man is feeling it right now.
Jaleel Smith and company in charge at 77-59. You know, we just talked about that first championship coming for Hunter Huss in 1977. They've just posted on the scoreboard 77 in this contest.
Maybe it's in the numbers.
I got to see this again, E.
Yeah, here we go. He sees him coming. Don't want to give it away behind the back. The only thing would have made that awesome is the finish, you know, for our player of the game. But look at that. He still sticks with it. Jaleel Smith for another 2.
Gave him 2 more points instead of the assist. It was a thing of beauty. Right in the heart of that Golden Demons D. Huss fans starting to feel it here in Winston. 77, a special number to the Hunter Huss faithful on the board. They wouldn't mind to add to it, but this is taken away. And the scramble for it. They get a foul call as they were heading for the basketball on the far side. It's going to go against Antonio Griggs Jr., the foul on 22, Griggs Jr. And that's just that's a third personal on Griggs.
Yeah, they're getting after it. And Lofton, number one, for Fike, continues to play with 4 fouls, still giving it his all.
That's a great point. He's been doing that for a while. Baseline drive into the hands of Anderson. Out front. What control to slow it all up and lay it home for Will Press.
Great control, caught it over his shoulder, almost like Jerry Rice there. Touchdown pass over shoulder, great body control to lay it off for 2.
Everything falling the Huskies' way now.
Yeah,
in the hands of Smith, and he's going to be fouled from behind. That was Blanchard, who is going to be whistled for his 4th.
Yeah, Huss is feeling it. You have Smith getting the outlet pass to the big fella down bottom, Will Pless, for the lay-in. Great control, and you can sense it in the air that Huss right now is feeling that state championship starting to sink in. The fans are feeling it. The players on the stands or on the bench as well as on the court, they're starting to feel it as well, JP.
It's about to be a 26-win campaign. They're 25-2 coming in. 26 wins in 26. It's going to be a championship year. At least it's trending that way. Up 22 now with Phillips' bucket.
Yeah, it's starting to get out of hand a little bit. They're still playing hard, but you can almost feel it. The body language you can see as well. Anderson
decided it's go time. He'll actually get it to Press far side, who slows it a bit. And there's Griggs Jr. Stop, pop, elbow. Why not?
Everything is dropping right now, JP. It's like throwing it into a swimming pool.
Bucket and the foul for Blanchard as he tries to retaliate somehow.
Yeah.
This push from Hunter Huss. And he'll go to the line. You got a see-through construction free throw coming on the backside, but the numbers beginning to make it very difficult now. The math becoming tougher and tougher in these moments. A breather for Tyleek Neal, who comes off. Tyleek Taylor into the contest. One Tyleek replacing another, and also taking a seat on the far side is Bowser.
Yeah, Huss has been pushing the pace, and it's finally starting to pay off.
Hunter Huss outscoring Fike 25-18 in the third quarter after things were tied at the intermission. I didn't say tied, I said tight at the intermission, just to be specific. And then 14-4, they've outscored them here in the fourth quarter. So it has been a second half to remember for the Huskies of Huss, as they are poised to carry a championship banner back to Gastonia, North Carolina. Timeout being called here with 4.5 to play, and it's beginning to seem inevitable. A lot of basketball left. Stranger things have happened, but Hunter Huss has taken command of this game in the second half.
Yeah, and that's a huge hill to climb. Looking at 21 points, as you mentioned, the math is starting to be against Fike. I shouldn't say starting. It's against them with 21 points and 4.5 to play. And Huss, Huss is happy to just continue to trade buckets. But Fike has got to start making some stops and see if they can cut into this lead.
Huss has outscored them 39-24 in the second half of action. And that's a split that they're enjoying in many ways in this contest. Got to remember, it started in that second quarter after they were outscored by 7 in the first by Fike. The split was 23-11 to take command at the intermission, and they have not looked back.
That's right. Starting to sink in. Jaleel Smith getting his last bit of instruction. This young man, I remind you, is only a sophomore, and he is leading all scorers with 32. And he's got 2 more years, man. You can be rest assured you'll see this young man again.
Not too many people believe what you're selling based upon the eye test today. Think on it. He is handling the basketball with 32 points to his credit and 8 rebounds. He's likely to finish with a double-double, and that doesn't mention what he's done in the assists and steals department today. It's been something special for sure.
As well as the emotional lift that
Yes.
he's given not just his team, but the fans all around.
And Green out of the game right now. You know, they really kind of took him away as a factor in this one when they were so effective on the perimeter and in the transition game.
Yeah, just playing the slow down offense. Oh, wow. Finger roll. I've seen more finger rolls this game than I've seen all season.
It's amazing, and we've seen just about everything begin to go down for Huss, and this is a nice effort by Lofton to respond on the other end of the floor.
Yeah.
Jameer Lofton, the junior, still battling.
Who's playing with 4 fouls? Yeah.
Rolls off. Guess who's there to put it back? Will Press on more than one occasion has been right there. Will Press impressive in this one.
Yeah, and Huss is happy to continue to trade buckets with him.
All day long.
Yep.
Into the hands of Anderson. Smith stops, and he'll go to the line. When you return to Winston-Salem, North Carolina, the premier player in the state championship contest is going to be at the charity stripe. He and Huss surging to the tune of an 87-64 advantage down the stretch. With the kind of lead Hunter Huss has built, for Huskies fans, the fourth quarter just becomes a celebration of the inevitable. They continue to impress with an 87-64 advantage, and the folks that made the trip over from Gastonia, North Carolina, are enjoying every moment of this 5A title game.
And it's really starting to sink in. They're starting to feel it. Every song has a little more bass in it. Every single timeout, every possession is a little sweeter as those seconds continue to click off the clock. They're getting closer to a championship.
The vendors in Gastonia starting to print 2026 alongside 77, 85, 2011, which was the last time this team made a trip to the state championship environment. They're going to be 4-0 in state championship contests. Due in large part to this young man. The sophomore drops home another see-through construction free throw to make it 88-64. And he, Eric, has notched, with that one right there, 34 points in the basketball game to lead everybody.
And I'm sure they'd love to get 100. They're close to it. If they keep playing like they are, they may get there, JP.
Here's a long three. Boards cleared by Pless here. Ahead to him. They scramble for it, and it's last touched by Huss. Going to be Golden Demons basketball.
Yep, still playing hard, still getting after it.
34 points for Smith, 19 points for Phillips, 11 points for Anderson. That trio all in double figures for Huss in the basketball game. And Anderson, by the way, has pulled down 9 boards. He's one shy of a double-double. Still fighting in there. The Cuevas Green, he has been a force in North Carolina basketball this season, and the junior is still the Conference Player of the Year. Still providing a moment here and there for Golden Demon fans to enjoy.
Yeah, you can see, you know, just the frustration, you know, on the Fike players who played so hard and worked so hard to get to this point, and falling just a little bit short.
Phillips has 22 of his own, and there are 92 on the board with his Paramount Kia of Asheville 3.
And there he is.
Rising above everyone else, Jaleel Smith jams it home.
As to say, earlier in the game, he had a couple of finger rolls, some layups. This is say, no, I can get up there.
Anderson off the backboard, and there's Smith again trailing. He has exploded for 38 points in this contest. And the celebration is on for the Huss Huskies.
Well, the question about get to 100, JP, they're 4 points away. 2 minutes and 16 seconds to go, and the celebration has already started.
Seems the century mark is on the horizon. Leading them with 38, Jaleel Smith has ignited the fire of a championship party here in Winston-Salem.
Yeah, those T-shirts that are being printed, I'm sure is going to have a number 5 smack dab in the middle of it.
Well, and you work your way for another year or two into that scenario of wearing that one to the Huss, Jim, when you consider that he's got plenty of basketball left in his future.
He certainly does.
But he has put together a state championship performance to be remembered here. Again, 38 for Smith, 22 for Phillips. Anderson has pitched in with 11. All the leaders on this Huss roster doing just what you would expect in the championship environment.
And you hear the fans chanting, "We want 100." I think there's a pretty good chance that they'll get there.
Into the basketball game and working for a state championship memory here or there. A number of those role players on each side getting some key time here, or at least Fike Golden Demons, allowing some to experience championship type environment. There's a foul of Phillips. 96-66 with 2:02 to go.
Now I think they're doubling up Smith here, Fike is, to ensure that he doesn't get, I don't know, the 40 points. I don't know, he's doing a fantastic job. But this young man right here has played a heck of a game also.
Dropped home by Phillips. See-Through Construction free throw. See-Through Construction, your contractor of choice on the OBX. See-Through Construction. And Phillips, 24 points for him, as he is true on both of those. And we think about Huss in all categories today, including from the free throw line, where they are now 17 of 21. Just an impressive effort. 2 points away from 100. That disrupted and lost out of bounds at the 148 mark. 98-66. The second half to remember for Hunter Huss. And a bucket for Fike. You talk about it, so many of those continuing to give you their best, but it has been all Huskies in this second half. Phillips.
If that had gone down, I think the roof would have blown off of this place.
He was looking for 101 instead of the century mark. Tried to go for the Paramount Kia of Asheville 3.
Certainly was, and I think when they do get 100, the roof will go off, and it may be right here.
Phillips won't go, maybe from the charity stripe.
There you go.
As he will go to the See-Through Construction free throw line with 1:15 to play. 2 shots coming for Phillips, who has 24 in the game. Just made 2 from the See-Through Construction free throw line. Rims off left side. That 100 point hard to come by.
Yeah, I'm sure he wanted to be the one to kick him to 100, but gets one more, and it'll be 99, and somebody's going to get an opportunity.
Nice hand for some of these golden demons of Fike that are being called to the bench now for the effort they put forth across the course of the year. Been a tremendous season for the crew out of Wilson, North Carolina. 99 on the board as the see-through construction free throw falls. Closing in on the final minute of the 5A season. Number 5, Smith. And he is unable to do anything with it here. That wrapped him up, and Smith thought should have been intentional here. A lot of contact. He wrapped him up here at the end of this.
Yeah, it's that was looked like it was a little intentional, making sure he didn't get an easy layup, I guess.
Trying to get to the basketball.
Yeah.
And they are going to allow him to shoot as everyone vacates. It's going to be somewhat fitting that it will be Jaleel Smith if he's able to make one of these that puts the 100 mark on the board, because he has been the leader today. He makes them both. He's got 40 personally. There it is. 100-point performance for the Huskies in the state championship environment. And they call for Phillips. He's headed to the bench to a nice ovation of the Huss faithful.
Yeah, and one more, he's going to have 40 points if he hits it here.
There it is. Well, just off the mark. 39 personally, but he did work it to 100 for the team at the 106 mark.
Yeah.
Boy, this second half for the Huskies had just been a flex of the muscles in many ways.
Yeah, they lit it up, JP. They stepped up. You know, they averaged 77 points a game, but they lit it up.
Look at this embrace. Coach Phillips calling his stars to the side now. Jaleel Smith going to finish with 39 in this game to pace everybody. And it's going to be 39, 39 alongside 6 assists, 8 boards, 3 steals along the way. He did a little bit of everything for this squad. And he's got a lot of basketball left in his career.
He certainly does. And what about the emotional component, the intensity? Fike threw everything at him. They threw, you know, double teams. They got physical with him, and he still was able to power through and score 39 points.
Starters enjoying themselves as that Hunter Huss Huskies banner right behind their bench is lifted tall and proud. 101 becomes 102 as O.B. Lockhart makes a couple of see-through construction free throws. 1 minute remaining. A little drama remains here in the 5A title game. And a foul as O.B. Lockhart worked back into his grasp.
Yeah, a little frustration. You know, the game's 53.6 seconds to go. Yeah, you can see now Coach Phillips is going to empty out his bench and let some of these young men build some memories of this state championship game here for Huss.
Everybody's coming. Walk us through these individuals working into the contest here.
Let me see here, JP. I see number. As we hit that, we have number 3. That's Jaden Moore coming in. We have number 33. That's Dankarian Sanders. We have number 0, which is Raymond Hodge, and number 40, I believe that's Will Coleman. These young men are going to get an opportunity to have their names cemented in the folklore and history of Huss High School.
Think about the championship moment that abounds when you get a chance to be a part of a moment like this. And still in the contest, Antonio Griggs Jr. with those 4 you named. He's at the stripe and will knock home the free throw. And now that final substitution, 4-0 in there. And boy, this is a lifetime memory that those final members of the Hunter Huss roster to see the floor on this championship Saturday are enjoying.
Yep, and these young men for Fike as well. You know, they get an opportunity to play at the biggest stage here in 5A basketball, the state championship.
When you reflect upon what we've seen here in what is now a 103-68 contest, how do you put into words what we witnessed from Huss in the second half?
Yeah, domination. They came out, they imposed their will on Fike. They played their game plan. They attacked the basket, on both ends. They defended well. And what can you say about Jaleel Smith? 39 points in 103 so far point game here in the state championship. The big players make big plays on the biggest stage.
Yeah, responsible for a third of the offense. You're right. Sophomore was something else. How about this move? Nicely done to slice toward the bucket. There's a look at Braylon Boykin, one of the seniors. And he did draw contact and will go to the line. And you said it, regardless of which side of this you're on, you played on a college basketball floor in a state championship environment. And if you etch your name in the scorebook, that's something to talk about for generations.
It certainly is, and they're going to remember. It takes so much work in the offseason, so much work during the season to get to this game. And these young men have all put it in. And congrats to Hunter Huss in being the state 5A men's basketball champion.
Well, he did get to notch a point, did Boykin, but the running clock went into effect with the separation on the scoreboard. And the running clock rolls down as Huss gets ready to celebrate this championship. 103-69 is our score. There's some question about whether or not they're going to have Boykin shoot the other free throw since time expired during his time at the line. And it looks as if they're going to bring Boykin back out to shoot the other free throw. And now the official's going to talk it over. And it's just a question of whether there's one more free throw to shoot or if the teams are going to shake hands and Hunter Huss is going to begin to celebrate. And it appears as if now, after the discussion, they've decided the game is over. Time ran out. Your final, 103-69. Might have muted the celebration just a little bit the way the clock ran down, but I'm going to tell you, E, they've been celebrating for the entirety of the fourth quarter, and Huss deservedly so, because they put together an impressive championship Saturday performance.
They certainly have. That second half, they just opened up, the lead on them and just imposed their will on them. So congratulations to the Hunter Huskies, and hats off to Fike as well.
We'll be back with the trophy presentation, so much more. Huss breaks the century mark, goes to 4-0 all-time in championship moments. They add 26 to 77, 85 and 11 with another crown. Going back to Gastonia. The celebration in Gastonia will no doubt match what we've witnessed here in Winston. The Huskies of Hunter Huss with the century mark eclipsed. claim the 5A crown. And as Coach Phillips sat down a moment ago, he just said, wow, we could echo those same sentiments. An impressive performance by your team start to finish.
First, I'd like to thank God for giving us this opportunity. Got a great bunch of kids. It's pretty awesome.
You think back through not just this game, Coach, but you think back through the entire journey, and it's a lifetime journey for so many of these players. What are going to be the memories that stand out to you?
Just to see a bunch of kids that was castaways. Believe in a plan. We're teaching them how to dream, how to think out the box, how to be young men, how to fight through adversity. My son, Pawpaw, died on Thursday night. My wife's dad, and been teaching them how we gotta get up and keep fighting. It's pretty awesome.
Bigger things than just what happens on the hardwood at play
Yes,
here.
sir.
That's a reminder of what really matters.
Coach, that's awesome. What's been the message throughout the entire year for your team?
Whatever it takes. This is it. Make no mistake where you are. It's what we try to teach our guys. Don't make no mistake where you are. Things happen for a reason. You just got to believe and achieve. And if you do that, anything can happen.
Yeah, and what does this championship mean for about the character of your team, Coach?
The character, because we've been pushed down and said our kids are this and that from the west side of town. You know how that goes, but they persevered. 3.1 GPA for the guys. They're doing what they have to do in the classroom. They're leaders in our school. They're leaders in our community. And look at them now. They're North Carolina High School, 5A, 2026 state champions.
Not much can be said in addition to that. Coach, congratulations, and thank you for your
Appreciate
time.
you. Thank you.
We
Congrats, Coach.
so
Thank you,
impressed
sir.
with what
Thank
you've done on and off the floor,
Thank
and
you,
we
sir.
appreciate you. Enjoy the ride.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you guys.
Well, you heard Coach Phillips right there with the reminder of what really matters in life, that yes, these championship moments are for a lifetime, but what you're doing with young men and their development and what's happening in their lives in the areas that matter, that we so often talk about. He's a solid reminder of what it's about, E, and they've got a championship to celebrate to go along with all those other positives he discussed.
And it's more than just about basketball. You can tell that he is a leader of young men, and this is going to make a difference in their lives, not just from a sports perspective, but from a life's perspective, and what the lessons that he's teaching them, the adversity that they faced. And he talked about having a 3.1 GPA on the team, and they're leaders in the school and fighting through that adversity. These are life lessons that they'll take for the rest of their lives, and they'll carry it into adulthood, they'll carry it into fatherhood, they'll carry it into their jobs and their careers.
Important to remember what matters, but moments like this, pretty special. One of the reasons this moment became so special is because our play of the game. Let's go back, take a look at our Akeem and Estapulo play of the game. You probably know who's going to be involved.
Yeah, this young man, Jaleel Smith, and see, he lays it up right there, just kind of teasing the crowd, thinking, can he or can he not dunk? This young man here can play above the rim, and he did an outstanding job, leading his team to victory.
A little bit later on, he jammed it home. He had 39. I've got a feeling we're going to stick with him camera-wise when we talk about our player of the game, which is brought to you as it has been all week by Riddle and Riddle. You're going to see a little more of the exploits of number 5. They matched his jersey number with a 5A title thanks to his near 40-point performance.
Yeah, played through contact. He was also the emotional leader. And JP, he is only a sophomore. This young man has a lot of basketball left in high school, and I think this is the one here where he just once again gives us a teaser, but he knows that he has a bright future in this sport of basketball.
You see the total numbers, the steals at 3, the assist at 6, his rebound and point totals on the screen for you. And just a remarkable day for Jaleel Smith as he and the Huskies came out in the second half and took this one by the horns, decided to turn it into a championship environment. 103-69 the final. And all those individuals on the Huss roster now being announced. We gave you each of their names as they were entered into the basketball game, but it's worth probably restating each of these individuals that made their mark across the course of the year. Raymond Hodge, O.B. Lockhart, Azir Davis, Jaden Moore, of course Anderson, Jaleel Smith, Joseph Walker, Kamari Falls, Tressel Locock, Amitris McCoy, Antonio Griggs Jr., Will Pless, Kenneth Massey, and Karen Sanders, Will Coleman, And Zy Phillips, all a part of what this team did across the course of the season. And you know, you saw one of the great gentlemen in this sport, Coach Phillips, give you a window into what it's been like off the floor. And he talked about life adversity and the challenges that you face as a family and as an individual, and certainly in the culture at times. But he said beyond all that, you step back, you give credit to God for the blessings of life, you come together as a family on the basketball floor, and you believe in one another. And he's done some amazing things with this Huss roster.
And hats off to the parents that support these young men. Hats off to the teachers. You know, they have these young men in class, and he said that they are leaders in the school. And so, you know, the teachers will hold them accountable. But, you know, to the trainers, to the cafeteria staff, you know, to everybody in that community that supported these young men, he said that people kind of cast them away, right? And he brought them together as a team, and they performed on the highest level.
Everybody in Gastonia going to celebrate this one, that's for sure. 103, everybody in that Huss community at least. 103-69 was the final, and these are the moments that they've worked for a lifetime. You talk about it so often, E. There's more to this than just a basketball season. There's summer preparation, there's lifetime and life skills that are developed, and this is the culmination of a long-term individual and corporate effort.
And it's choices that you make. You know, your buddies may be going out and doing things and hanging out, and you have to get home and get your rest and get your proper nutrition because you have a game to play the next day or you have a tournament to go to. And so there's a lot of sacrifice that takes place as well that these young men have made, and now they get to celebrate it by hoisting that banner at their high school at Hunter Huss.
The Huskies of Hunter Huss receiving their individual medals. Phillips going to share a moment with the fan base as well as he comes out as the final member of this roster numerically to receive his medal. And now the coaches will be honored, all the members of the traveling personnel who've made a championship moment like this possible. Reminder, we got a couple more coming your way later today, so you want to stick around. Championship Saturday going to roll on from here in Winston-Salem. You'll see more memories just like this one, where everybody who was a contributor is honored for their part in a championship run.
Yeah, because it takes a village. Every single person on that staff. Once again, the hours that you spend in the gym, the hours that you spend not just teaching basketball lessons, but life lessons, as Coach Phillips talked about. So kudos to them. Hats off.
There's that idea of family. You see it prevalent on the shirt. A member of this staff as the Huskies continue to receive those honors. And now here is Coach Phillips, the head man, going to come out. And the medal will be placed around his neck. The trophy going to be handed his direction to share with his team in just a moment.
Yeah, as a head coach, you're a motivator of young men. You're a molder of young men and the value that a coach plays in their lives. I remember, you know, what my coach said 20 years ago, 30 years ago. And these young men are going to remember these life lessons that they learned from their coach in practice and in games, in the wins and in the losses.
Yeah, we all had coaches that marked our lives. You know the old saying, you know, a coach is impactful in what they do with you on the floor or between the white lines or on the field. But the coaches that make the true difference are the ones that change your life outside of all that. We've seen a number of those across the course of this championship week in North Carolina as well. A banner to hang at Huss High, the home of the Huskies there in Gastonia, is now being carried over to the rest of the team. Trophy headed with it. And now we'll have our superlatives handed out by the state of North Carolina. A couple of outstanding players, one on each side, recognized for their performance in the championship tournament and the state championship game. It was a tremendous year for Fike and a tremendous first half for Fike. It was just Huss in that second half taking things over. But you'll remember this year, those from Wilson, North Carolina, for having been able to arrive in a state championship environment here at Wake Forest. And Mr. Green going to be called to come to the middle of the court. Such good work done by him across the course of this season, and he's the honoree as the outstanding player for Fike.
And this is something that I'm sure people, you know, realize this. as these players from Fike are standing over there, including Mr. Green here, who is a junior, they're etching this in they're burning this in their memory about how bitter this tastes. But they have nothing to hold their head about. They did a fantastic job in getting here, but you can best believe that they're going to want to get back to this. Only they want to be the ones that are hoisting that championship trophy.
That's a great point. It's something that becomes an inspiration for you in the days and moments that follow what you're seeing here. As the celebration ensues, of course, Phillips is going to be honored here. See Phillips announced as the individual, as the standout performer in this contest, and now the overall MVP set to be announced. And we'll give you 3 guesses. The first 2 don't count.
The first 2 don't count. Agreed. Maybe he had 39 points.
Sophomore with 39 points to pace everybody. His leadership evident on the floor from the very beginning stages of this one. And the most valuable player of this 5A championship contest, the guy who wears number 5, Smith, who was right at 40 points in the contest. Just a stellar effort all the way around. I keep saying that. They had him on the scoreboard as 39. There was one bucket that wasn't credited to him at one point late. It'll be interesting to see where he lands. He's right around 40, going to either end with 39 or 41, depending upon how it all shakes out with the final scoring as they check that with the scores. Whatever the case, he tinkered right around 40 points, and this team eclipsed 100 for a championship.
Yep, first time in a while we've seen 100 points in a state championship, but congratulations to Hunter Huss and to Coach Phillips for hoisting that trophy. Hats off. And kudos to Fike as well for the tremendous effort that they had.
Take a picture, Gastonia, North Carolina. That's the snapshot that will live for generations. This group adding its name to the 3 prior champions in that locale. Here's one final look at the numbers. Our Arthritis Knee Pain Center statistics now final. The relief without surgery and opioids that Arthritis Knee Pain Center provides brings them to your attention as they sponsor our stats. Any final thoughts on the numbers in this?
That final number right there, 103 to 69, is the only one that really counts and it really matters. Now, you're going to build on it if you fight and hope to get back here next year.
One final glance at our ready-to-roll garage doors points in the paint. Raleigh's garage door experts. Check them out today. 46-50 the split. Huss +4 in that category when all was said and done. And they are in the plus category overall as they add a championship ring, a championship banner, a championship trophy in 2026. 1977, 1985, 2011, and now 2026 for Hunter Huss. Thank you to our sponsors. A big thank you to everybody who made this broadcast possible. For my broadcast partner, Eric Gash and Kevin Ketwell earlier in the weekend, and all those who are going to carry you home in the moments to come. Riddle and Riddle Injury Lawyers, Air Experts, Heating and Cooling. Tatum and Atkinson, See-Through Construction, Ready to Roll Garage Doors, Arthritis Knee Pain Center, Akeem and Astapulo Law Firm, Paramount Auto, Tip Top Roofing, Original Grills and Ingalls Markets make it possible for us to be here. Jason Patterson saying thanks for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your championship Saturday. 77, 85, 11, and now 26. Those are the years that see Hunter Huss as champions. They eclipse 100, and the Huskies claim the crown in 5A.
Ever since my boots first hit these